She's coming.
No, they fixed that. They shaved it or something like that.
They shaved it?
Yeah, they made it kind of skinnier or something. But,
yeah, just fine.
George, speak into the microphone for a second. George.
The red tape is amazingly beautiful this time.
Hello,
Howard.
Hello.
This is ground control to Major Tom. Hello.
Give me about 30 seconds more. It's booting up.
All right, Howard Benjamin
All right.
lives 2 blocks away
All right.
in a pink house with a lady named Sandy. He claims to be her wife. Are we good?
Let me start the camera.
All right. This should be a quick one, guys. Unless you want to stay here till midnight.
Be good, George. All right.
It wouldn't be the first time.
Anytime you're ready.
All right, let's rock and roll. It is my honor and privilege to call this meeting to order. Mr. John Camara, could you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, sir?
Thank you, everybody. Please put your right hand over your heart, or feel free to salute the flag if you're a veteran. Take off your hat. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Roll call, Mr. Secretary, please.
Okay, just a second. President Thomas.
Here.
Vice President Benjamin.
Here.
Secretary Hendry here. Ms. Hopp, Treasurer. Not here.
She's on her way.
Okay, Ms. Havard.
She's in Mongolia.
Ms. Meyer. Okay. Mr. Lazarowitz.
Present.
Mr. Martin.
Present.
Ms. Skelton. I don't see.
He's outside.
Mr. Kamara.
Here.
Mr. Vallejo.
Here.
Mr. Anand.
Present.
Mr. De La Cuesta.
Here.
Ms. Padden. Mr. Lynn.
Here.
Mr. Luna. Absent. Okay. Mr. Marabi. Okay, I have to write these down for just a second. So, Mr. Robbins. Ms. Raines.
Crickets.
Mr. Knoll.
Here.
Okay. Ms. Asgarian.
Here.
Okay. We have a quorum.
Very good. All right, moving on, comments from the chair. I have nothing at this time. Public comment. Kathy, come on down.
Oh, yeah. I want to do public comment.
And Donna, of course, you're always on the list.
So thank you. So I'm Kathy Schreiner. I am now proudly a member of the territory of this neighborhood council because I went to the board of the neighborhood commissioners last night.
Oh,
they
welcome.
finally welcomed us in, so that's really exciting. And I'm here to tell you that you are part of Best Start Panorama City and Neighbors. So you may not have heard of Best Start. It is funded by First 5 LA, and they 5 years ago decided they wanted to have what they called place-based initiatives, so geographically centered to try to get services that would complement each other for parents and their children 0 to 5. So they selected an area that started out to be the Monroe High School attendance zone, but anyway, through various activities, it now starts up at 405, it goes up to Devonshire, it goes over to Woodman and then the Tahunga Wash, and then it goes down to Van Owen. So the and Neighbors includes, therefore, North Van Nuys as well as North Hills East. So I and another person on our leadership team are the only ones that are Van Nuys representatives right now. And we have our meetings at New Horizons in North Hills area. So we really want to get Van Nuys more involved. So I want to just periodically be able to come and tell you about the things that we're doing. And the first thing I wanted to tell you about was that on Saturday, July 11th from 10 to 1 at the Sepulveda Recreation Center up in Parthenia and Kester, they're opening a brand new play lot for the younger children that Shane's Inspiration has developed with First 5 funds. So, and it is inclusive, meaning children of all abilities. And it has a wonderful play structure that looks like a train. Maybe I can just pass this sheet down and everybody can see it.
Oh, there's Vernacular.
Okay, now where am I?
Jeanette and
Did you guys do the end?
You're in Van Nuys, Jeanette.
I was trying to call
And
Yeah, Kathy, we're listening.
okay, and the event from 10 to 1, we have a number of different agencies that are going to offer activities for parents and their young children that are oriented to brain development and some of the things that help prepare a child for school, and they just are a lot of fun. So, and, you know, more than welcome you. I don't know how many of you have young children, but again, I want you to know that this is a VNNC activity, and that I hope you'll support us in general, and that you'll let me come and tell you about our activities from time to time.
Absolutely, Kathy. Thank you very much. You gentlemen had a public comment card. You wanted to come up and speak?
Yes.
Come on down.
Do I?
You're good.
Oh, okay. My name is Elliot Mermel. Maddie is Gary and reached out to me and the boys. This is Nate, this is Peter.
Nate and Peter.
And we opened up a cricket farm, LA's first edible organic cricket farm down on Densmore Avenue near the airport. It's a fully operating right now. We've got baby crickets. We grow them up until they're adults, and then we mill them into a fine powder and sell it as a environmentally sustainable and healthy protein supplement alternative. We're also very focused on water conservation, which is one of a big part of our business model. Today we're in the midst of setting up a little aquaponic system also, so we grow the food that we feed the crickets on site through a cyclical kind of fish tank going up to different sprouts, feed those to the cricket, process the cricket, and voila, cricket powder.
That's it.
So that's what we do.
Cool. Do you guys have any questions for the cricket farm?
Yeah, why can't you sell crickets, live crickets to people who have pets?
So there do exist currently feeder farms in the U.S. that are they breed feeder crickets to feed pets like reptiles, etc. But our crickets are food grade crickets, so we don't want it. It would kind of be like going to the meat, which you could do at Whole Foods, going to the meat section, buying a steak for your lizard, essentially.
She's got frogs.
She's got frogs.
Donna's got frogs.
Picks them up.
Are these are organic?
Yeah, so everything, right now we've begun the arduous paperwork of getting organically certified. So legally, obviously, we can't say that we are organic, but everything on the farm as we're going is following organic practices.
Okay, so now, how's business?
We moved into the facility back in February. We just got our first generation this past weekend, actually. So we've got about 100,000 baby crickets right now out there.
Well, congratulations. Why did you choose to pick Van Nuys as your home?
So we're all from New England. These two are from Maine, and I'm from Rhode Island. And we really, when we were choosing a location, we were looking at Los Angeles, New Orleans, or Southern Florida. And what we looked at were just all of the things that the places had to offer, and that was environment. We wanted to use the environment, the natural environment, as much as possible so that we could decrease energy costs, energy consumption, and also, be that much more sustainable. So all those three locations have very good high temperature, which the crickets enjoy, and they have a steady humidity. The other thing, which is why we ended up choosing Los Angeles as opposed to those other two locations, was because of just the intangibles of being in a city like Los Angeles, where it's very diet trend and forward-thinking and early adopters of various technologies.
Nice. Well, I can say that I've seen you guys on TV a number of times, and I've been following your company. It's a great company. I'm very excited, so I'm a huge fan.
Awesome, man. We really appreciate all the support, and we have an open door policy, as we say on most of our stuff, so you guys can feel free to stop by and see where we grow your food and the operation. It's 7646 Densmore, and our cell phone number is on our website. You can call us, see if we're at the farm. We'd love to show anyone that's interested.
Do you have a favorite cricket recipe?
Yeah, so we're actually in the midst of filling out farmers market paperwork too. and we'll be going to several, 4 to be precise. The closest one will be Sherman Oaks. And we'll be making crab salad, which is like a cricket cob salad. We'll have cricket chili, and then you can choose between. Yeah, it's really good. Choose between a cricket quesadilla or a cricket grilled cheese with a variety of different.
That's a tough call.
All 3 of us, you know, we're very domesticated.
Well, cool, man. That'll be good. Maybe we could have you guys come and bring some cricket powder for next.
That's
I mean, that's it. We usually do Subway, but
you just can't get the crickets that you need from them.
Didn't anybody tell you crickets are good luck?
I know, they
I can't
are.
see eating them.
That's why we pet all of them.
Save them from getting stomped on.
They're very good luck to you.
I read my son Pinocchio last night,
We need all the
and
luck we can
Yeah,
get.
crickets are
Yep.
good luck.
Anyways, guys, thank you so
Yes.
much.
Yeah.
Good luck.
We're online,
Good luck.
Instagram, Snapchat.
we'll reach out and
Yeah.
we'll have a cricket tasting next month.
Guys did an amazing job in LA Times article.
Like Typhoon does, where they're like,
Right,
stuff some
so,
spicy crickets, and then you can have them.
so our main, at least for the foreseeable future, obviously we'd like to expand down the line, but we don't want to get carried away. But our main purpose is to be suppliers for other companies like Exo or Chapul, which make protein bars, or restaurants like Typhoon that sell the whole cricket. So with restaurants and with local farm settings, etc., we work with them to get whatever the type of cricket we want, whether it's whole frozen, whole live, etc.
Cool. Thank you,
Thank
man.
you guys very
Thank
much.
you very much.
Thank you. Good luck.
Good luck with
Good luck.
everything. Feel free to stop by. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It's gonna be a quick meeting.
George, me and
Okay.
Mary want to be on public.
Come on down, Donna. Yeah, that's fine. Kathleen, it'll be a quick meeting. Donna Pearman.
Hi, it's Donna. First of all, while that may sound good, I'm disappointed that they don't have crickets live for the frogs because they don't really give a lot at the pet stores, and that's why the frogs are disappearing for people who have it, because it's costly to try to get enough crickets to feed them.
How many frogs do you have, Donna?
Just about 5. I used to have about 30. So anyway,
I like frogs' legs.
Another thing that upsets me is that we want to bring business in Van Nuys, and it's not going to look so good looking at the Browdy Center with 5 places out of business. 5. Now I noticed even a lawyer place out of business because they didn't want to pay the rent, and it's going to look like Van Nuys may have trouble rebuilding itself if these places are going out of business. In fact, the whole valley, it seems to be having problems, and maybe in even West LA. It seems to be maybe a LA problem, that places are, you'll see constant places going out of business. And over here, right near Van Nuys Neighborhood Council, you see 5 places. And it doesn't, wish we could have done something for them because it doesn't look very good. And I don't see Van Nuys building up as long as those 5 places are going to be out of business. And so, and of course I want to bring back, still interested in Van Nuys video conferencing. I'm going to do it until I die. I'm going to be interested until I die. Because I still think it's not right that I have to go all the way downtown and then to speak for only a few minutes worth of time, and public comment only be 1 minute over there at City Hall. So it makes it very difficult for me and Miriam, and almost impossible. Okay.
Very good. Jeanette, did you have something?
Yours truly helped get that changed, Donna. You forgot. So I'm just going to add a real quick comment that we've got it changed to, if you're talking on business here that we've authorized you to speak on, or we ourselves are, we get 5 minutes to represent our neighborhood council. Thanks to Herb Wesson. We did get that passed through. We still don't know for sure if we got that extra $5,000 beginning this year. We'll find out soon, because the new accounts will be put into fruition sometime this month.
Am I included?
Yes.
Well, you and Miriam always. So, like I said, there will be hopefully 5 grand more than before, and you will have extra time to speak.
So we'll have to scout around Van
So,
Nuys.
but you
make
gotta
it
be
more
cool,
efficient.
no losing tempers, no, you know,
Right.
saying something you shouldn't, and stick to topic.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Miriam Fogler.
Yeah, stick to this Van Nuys Neighbor Council topic.
yeah.
Okay, well, the thing is, I have 2 minutes on my time, and then I have time to speak as a budget rep. So I wouldn't be able to, how much time do I get?
A couple hours, yeah, a couple hours.
Okay. Anyway, I made my way down here, and it was very interesting how Van Nuys is developing, and we just need to get more people interested in the community here and to bring other communities, and what we need to do is try to bring people from other communities and bring them all in here, and we need to really advertise Van Nuys, so we need to be doing that. I pretty much had a very good 4th, except the firecrackers, the fireworks, and I don't know if they're shooting in the streets. I'm up in this air because of the 4th. That concerned me as well. So I don't know. What's
What
been
happened with
happening
the
on that
budget,
note.
Mary Ann?
But anyway,
What happened with the budget?
okay.
Just read what
The
you
budget advocate report is follows. Jeanette and I attended the budget day activities on June 27th. It was educational and fun. Although the mayor was not in attendance, nor was Gracie, we had a good day. Following a scrumptious breakfast, we split into regions to conduct our individual regions' business. I'm happy to announce the following elections for our regions. 3 individuals were elected: Brandon Pender, Glenn Bailey, and Jeanette Hobb. I'm especially happy to say I helped elect Jeanette myself. Following the elections, the new elected or re-elected budget advocates stayed to discuss their businesses. They elected the officers and set a date to continue defining their calendar for the coming year. They will be meeting on July 18th at the Flame International Restaurant to set that calendar. Thank you for electing me as budget rep. I will be helping Jeanette and Brandon Pender address other nearby councils to make certain that they have their representatives in place and are making appropriate reports to their committees.
Very good, Miriam.
Very good.
Thank you very much.
So,
good job.
yeah.
Solid work, Miriam. Very
So
good.
Let's get this going and let's get the city back on track. Thank you. Have a
Okay,
good
thank you,
night.
Mary.
Good lady. Thank
Good
you,
job,
Miriam.
good job. Yes, ma'am.
Nice.
Oh, Kathleen? has
Yes,
her hand up.
Kathleen, then Paul, yes.
I'd like to make a comment on announcing that Zed Yaroslavsky is going to be put in name for the Irwin Street Mall. And he's not dead.
You're not supposed to do it.
And
They
the
haven't
thing
done
is
it.
you're not supposed to have somebody who is still alive.
So we all heard that
I think
comment.
that's just parks, but we can look into that.
Okay,
I think
'cause,
that's
yeah, 'cause
renaming
I
a
keep hearing
park.
the same thing, and I think so did Daniel, so.
Just
if
don't
they-
kill him, please.
It's supposed to be posthumously that you do that, so I heard the same thing also, so in case that's not correct, we need to know if it is correct.
How
but
about
if
a
it's not,
street?
then it's okay.
I will definitely look into it. Zev heard what we were doing and is very honored by what we are up to and would like to come to our December meeting. So that gives us enough time to do all the paperwork, and we will look into it. But I believe that's just parks, because we went through that with Monica Benavides
Yeah.
and Candido wanting to rename the park.
Park, and it's only
But
park, so okay.
uh,
I think he's right.
there's buildings out in Agora and that area that are named after Zev, so I know that it can be done, and but yes, Kathleen, we'll definitely look
George,
into
can I
it.
tell you one thing?
Yes, Donna.
Labange has just got them all.
Labange got them all.
Yeah.
That's it.
Still alive.
Yes, and Labange is still alive.
Okay.
And a ton of
And
people
Marvin
joined
Rowdy
you.
was alive when this building was
And
erected.
that's true too, yes.
Yeah.
Very good.
Next.
Mr. Anand.
Just wanted to remind everyone that this Saturday is July 11th, which is 7-Eleven Day.
Oh, yeah, okay.
It's free Slurpees for everybody at any neighborhood 7-Eleven.
How about hot dogs?
Huh?
How about the hot dogs to go to the slow?
The hot dogs are gonna be on special. They're,
Aw, come on.
Pizza, 75 cents, hot dogs range depending on whether they're big or small ones. But another cool thing is that we're also gonna sponsor the kids to all be able to go and swim free.
Yes.
Heard about that.
At all the Los Angeles parks. So if you guys want to take your kids to go grab a Slurpee and then go for a swim, or grab a swim and then go for a Slurpee, please enjoy on Saturday.
But you have to wait 20 minutes before going in the pool. Thank you, Paul. Any other public comments? Going once.
Yeah.
Going twice. All right, so let's hear from the elected official offices. The mayor's office. Amanda, are you ready? All right.
Hello, good evening. Nice to see everyone. So just a few announcements. I left some flyers on the desk for SNL. So SNL has started Summer Night Lights, where they will be, it will be going on until August 28th. So we have Wednesday through Saturday from the 24th of July to August 1st. And then Fridays and Saturdays, it'll be Fridays and Saturdays from August 7th to August 28th. So please go enjoy some music and some food with your family. And then today, I'm not sure if anybody heard, but the mayor announced with Supervisor Kanabi that we now have about 11,000 youth summer jobs, which are already, I believe, all taken up. We partnered with the local businesses throughout the city of Los Angeles, and today we had a press conference on it. So we were super excited. The kids were super excited to now have jobs in the summer, to be able to support for their families and also to do some extra activities for themselves. Lastly, we have the mayor's 10,000 Strong Veterans Career Summit. I will be sending that information to you tomorrow, but we are accepting registration still, and that's going to take place Tuesday, July 14th from 8 to 5. There's going to be employers there, job seekers, and other fun stuff for the veterans, and it's free.
Thank you very much.
Excellent.
Any questions for the mayor's office?
No, that's really great.
And then I believe you guys all got the 7-Eleven, all of the parks as well for the swim sites.
Pretty cool.
Great.
Thank you very much.
You're
Good
welcome.
job.
Thank you.
Very good. Mr. Santana with Senator Hertzberg's office, come on down.
How's it going, everybody? Mark Santana again with Senator Hertzberg's office. Just want to say thank you for having me again another night. One thing I do want to mention, this is probably the soonest thing I should say. We have an event that we're putting together. It's actually this Friday at Valley Presbyterian Hospital. It's called the Small Business Boost. I left some of the flyers up on that table. What it is we're collaborating with Facebook, we're collaborating with and other local nonprofits such as VICA, ICON CDC, and a bunch of other organizations to help promote small businesses. Essentially what's going to happen is we're going to have representatives from Facebook there, and they're going to be teaching folks how to promote their small business on Facebook. So they're going to go everything from beginner's course up to, if you're an expert, how to promote. So the event again is this Friday at Valley Presbyterian. It's actually in their library, not in the actual hospital. But it's from 8 to 9:30. If you guys would like to go, I again have some of the flyers on that table, but I highly recommend that you RSVP beforehand. What was that?
AM or PM?
8 a.m. Yeah, 8 a.m. But do RSVP beforehand. That way we have a count of everybody. The room might overflow, so it's very important that you guys RSVP. Just a couple other things. We are taking comment at the moment. There was a special session set for the budget, so if anybody would like to reach out to us about comments that they have, one of the things that the senator's been really pushing on is funding more, or allocating more funding. We just had a bill that passed, which is allocating more funding to programs that are going to help that intervention between folks with mental illnesses, being arrested to getting to the prison. So hopefully that'll help, drive them from going to
Becoming homeless.
Well, for one, becoming homeless, but the thing with our county jails is that they're impacted with folks that shouldn't be there because they deserve proper help. So this will hopefully serve more as a prevention purpose. And then the last thing is one of the biggest bills that the senator is working on is called Senate Bill 405, or as we like to call it, driving debt down. What it's doing is that it's a pretty funny name. Yeah. What it's doing is it's setting it up so that I'm sure people here have gotten tickets. Everybody gets a ticket once or twice. And what happens is that there's a lot of folks, whether they're working, going to school, whatever the case, but aren't able to show up to court because they have to work. What happens then is there's an immediate fine and a fee assessed on you, and you owe all of a sudden you owe thousands of dollars to the court. So what this bill would do is, instead of having your driving privileges revoked, it'll allow you to still drive because you have to work to be able to pay off the ticket. So it'll allow you to still drive as long as you agree to pay the bill on a sliding scale. So the bill actually passed the Senate and the Assembly, and it's going to be taken into effect in October. So we're just working out the details. So that's a really big push, especially for the folks of the working class, to be able to drive while still trying to pay off their tickets. So if you guys have any questions, please feel free to reach out. I again have the flyers over there.
And they wouldn't have the same problem.
What was that?
Why do they tickets so expensive? They should lower the price of the tickets. And
Right,
have the same problem.
and that's an issue that they're looking at altogether as well.
I think it makes more sense.
Yeah, no, I understand.
Good reason. The reason being, and I hope this part is still in the law,
Uh-huh.
was that too many people, for a long time, you didn't have to pay for your ticket first. You got to go to court. If you won, great. If you didn't, then you had to pay the fine and your court fees.
Right.
Then, all of a sudden, because they saw this as a way to make money, honey, they made you pay your fine up front and all the court costs and stuff. And then you go to court, and if you won, you got it back eventually. And if you didn't, well, okay, you paid it. But that was what caused a major problem. A lot of people, mostly lower income people, were getting an inordinate number of tickets.
Right.
Maybe because they don't know how to drive. But anyway, long and short, they would go to collections and they never got collected. And they realized it's stupid to have these huge debts on the collection books when they're not collecting, and these people can't drive, and then they kept getting more tickets. And that's how some of them ended up in jail, because they had quite a number of tickets, and they finally just put them there. A few days in jail wipes off a whole lot of tickets, but you stay a month and you might wipe off all of them. But the bottom line is, nobody likes having a record. Nobody wants to be in county. It sucks. So I think they took all of that into consideration and decided to waive that, having to pay it first portion of it. And so if you're allowed to make payments, that's great. But I would like to know, did he keep that element in so you didn't have to front the money? Because if you weren't guilty, it's kind of unfair.
So you'll still go to court, for example, and from there you can either do guilty or not guilty, whatever the case may be. But the agreement is to agree to pay on a sliding scale. So depending on your income and stuff like that. So it's not necessarily a free pass. Like, oh, you don't have to worry, don't pay the ticket, but it is more so, pay on a sliding scale, so pay as you go, and factoring in your income and stuff like that.
So locked up as it is, why make it more locked up? I mean, you get so much, consistency.
Well,
they should lower the traffic fine so that we can open up the court system so we have more space for other type of cases instead of worrying about traffic laws, because there's so much fraud that goes on with insurance companies. If you're insured, you're insured. That's it. A traffic ticket's different. You have to protect yourself from breaking the law. People break the law every day when they drive a car, and the cameras are up there watching them. So I don't know.
These are going to go for small infractions, so it's not something where it was an extreme traffic ticket or whatever the case may be.
Well, tell Bob if he gets the bill passed, I'll support him. But
well, he did.
There's so much traffic problems.
Yeah, and actually, I was going to continue the point. To go on to that, there's actually, the DOJ has been looking at how to, kind of reassess the way a court system works. So that is something that the state's currently looking at.
Well, we got to fix our infrastructure. That's every city in the country
there's a lot of
got it right, but Los Angeles is like 100 on the list. We've got to get our infrastructure.
There's a lot of things to factor in, but the big point of this...
So it's only one bill. It's not going to fix it.
Right. And there's also for example, the governor's amnesty program and a couple other things.
Well, anyhow, we'll just
Maria.
tell that if we can get less traffic out there, it would be great, because there's so many cars.
Ms. Skelton?
Just to say thank you, because a young man was late because he was trying to help a young lady get in and out of our car, the walker at the bank. So I just want to say thank you. He was rushing, trying to hurry up and get here early to get to the meeting. So sorry for us being late, but most definitely for him. I just wanted, I don't know if he gets in trouble, but thank you.
You're out there helping people, we don't like to see that at all. Please stop doing that, Mr.
Sorry,
Santana. The cricket guy, did you have?
Yes, did you say it was for small infractions only?
So the way it works is, if, for example, if you had like a DUI or something like that, then that's something completely different. But let's say you ran a red light, whatever the case may be, and you got a ticket. What happens is if you don't do the proper stuff, like let's say you have to work, so you're not able to go to the court date that they assign to you. What happens then is that the court places a $1,000 fee on top of all the other tickets you might have.
So if it's just for stuff like red lights, couldn't the city save a lot of money by having police do bigger deal stuff, cut down traffic, cut down traffic for citizens?
Well, I mean, at that point you have to factor in the different levels of government as well. The city has its own set of traffic rules. The state, I'm with the state, so we're looking at the DMV and what we can do. And so what the bill itself is going to help with is those folks that have the tickets. It's going to allow them to still be able to drive and go to work. There's some statistics that were released that say out of those folks that have their license suspended, 80% of them saw a decrease of income in their household. And out of that, 80%, 40% of those were laid off eventually because they weren't able to drive. So we're trying to address that issue first, and then there's the reassessment of the court system that it's going to take a longer process.
I have a question. I forget what your name was. Anyway, one problem actually a comment. One problem I see is it's going to really hit they're going to make the middle class pay for it, like with people who are doing minimum wage jobs, go get a deal on it so they can pay a little bit. And the middle class will pay like almost all of it at once and pay a little small portion later. I really don't think that's right. I think that even because people might have mortgages and things like, expenses that are higher, so in that way their income is not as high as it looks. They should be able, as long as the person pays it, I think they should come up with reasonable amounts to pay it and not just have to be poor.
Yeah, no, thank you. And as I said, it's going to take place in October. So right now they're looking at different ways they could implement it. But that's definitely things that they're taking into consideration, the income levels and how to pay it down.
Thank you, Mr. Santana. Did you
Step
have
in the right direction.
I have a question.
Yes.
With the sheriffs have the candid cameras on the busways.
Right.
Are those candid cameras going to be put a stop to?
No,
because they're
those are
extremely expensive.
No, because that's county.
That's
That's
county, so I
Metro
can't
County.
say for that. Yeah.
So,
County
just a
has money.
question regarding
Sure.
that, what was brought up regarding the courts.
Okay.
Now, as I understand it, the courts would take the bail amount up front. Is that still the process? Is that still the
Yeah, it should
procedure
be,
in the
but it
state of
is.
California, that they will continue to take that, or have they changed that so that they will no longer take it until such time as they're actually been found guilty?
So this bill itself is going to apply specifically to traffic citations, and it's going to go to specific ones only. But what it's going to do is it's going to take into effect what the citation was, and you won't have to pay it up front is the point. You'll be able to pay it, month by month.
No, but I'm saying, does that apply for everyone in regards to as you said, the infraction traffic violation? So are these people then, right now, the procedure is that you receive the ticket, here's the ticket, you must pay it before you even show up to court. Has that been changed in so much as saying that there's no fine, there's no nothing, as long as you show up to court?
Well, the way it works right now is when you have your court date, you don't necessarily have to pay before you show up. You can go to court, the judge does the rulings and stuff, and then they decide the payment after. So what will happen is after the judge decides what the ruling will be, that's when they're going to look into how you'll be able to pay.
I thought they paid before they see.
No, you have to pay after.
Huh? You dispute the ticket. Yeah, if you dispute.
Well, even before you plead guilty, not guilty, or no contest, you still have to go to the actual court date, unless you just don't want to go to court and would rather pay it.
No, but I'm asking, let's say that I want to contest.
Okay.
For whatever reason, the person did not follow appropriate, I don't believe his radar gun was correct, whatever.
Right.
I
Oh, you're saying after you've gone to the initial court date?
No, I'm saying to go, if you go to the initial court date, they ask you for money, even if you plead not guilty.
Right.
So I was under the impression that under the federal system, they were saying that that's not correct, that you're innocent until proven guilty, so you shouldn't be burdened by having to pay any money until you're actually proven guilty.
Right.
So I'm wondering if there's any provision in there that says that,
That's what I was trying to ask.
no, we shouldn't, until you're proven guilty, you're not on the hook to pay any money.
Shouldn't have to.
Is that been addressed, or is that being addressed?
I'll have to circle back with my colleagues in Sacramento. As far as I know, it's for those folks that have the citation and have the ticket amount already, but I haven't looked to see for those that are contesting the ticket, you know, what their payment option will be. Because I know what you're saying now, you know, to be able to contest it, you have to pay it off.
Yeah, so you're basically forcing them to have to say I'm guilty to get this deal, as opposed to just saying, okay, I
What about
contest
off-road
it.
vehicles?
Yeah,
Let me. I'll reach out to them, and I could email you guys at the neighborhood council email, and let you know the update on that.
And then one more question for Mr. Santana, and then we'll bring him back next month to grill him. Yes, sir.
Yes.
You're recognized.
I need to clarify this. I just was watching this, and I've seen it happen over the years. I've been involved in it for years. These violations you're talking about are violations you can't go to jail for. They're non-jailable violations. They're minor infractions. But you can go to jail on some infractions, but these you can't. Okay? Bail is in lieu of going to jail. You're putting up money guaranteeing, otherwise you're supposed to go to jail. But if you can't go to jail, bail is useless. It should be illegal to charge bail because you can't go to jail.
That's right.
Secondly, when I brought this up in the past, and I've dealt with this for 10 or 15 years, they said, well, call it a fine. I said, you can't fine me before you find me guilty. Why don't you hang a person for murder before you have the trial? You can't do this. You can't punish a person, which is fining them, before you actually have the trial. The judge should pass sentence, and that would be the fine after the guilty verdict has come in and not before. And no bail should ever be put up before the trial, and I mean the real trial, not the initial appearance.
Right.
I mean, no bail should be put up because there's no chance of going to jail. You can't be put in jail for that offense.
A little over.
No, I definitely understand as you're saying, and you know, the answer I have to that is, as I mentioned, the Department of Justice is looking at the court systems currently, and they're looking at how we can change it up. So
something totally illegal with the way they're doing it.
So I'll definitely mention that with my colleagues.
And then to go farther, to let poor people, which are usually the majority, say that they can jaywalk and they get a lesser fine, which is an incentive. I, as a driver, don't want people walking in front of me because their fine would be cheaper.
Well, as far as that, I know that's something that the city is looking at, so I haven't kept up too much with that progress, but I do understand.
If I was poor, I wouldn't cross the street and jaywalk. That would be a big incentive if I was going to lose my job.
Okay. All right, Mr. Santana, thank you as always.
Thanks, guys.
We'll see you next month. Let's see, Guillermo or Angie, you guys want to Rochambeau for who's coming up next? Huh? Flip a coin?
Guillermo.
Thumb wrestle? All right, Guillermo.
Guillermo, come on down.
Guillermo.
I suggested rock, paper, scissors. She politely declined. Okay, good evening, everyone. Thank you for having me here. To some new faces out there, my name is Guillermo, and I represent the Van Nuys area for Councilwoman Ray Martinez. And I do have some updates here tonight. I guess the main one being, and first I want to thank Howard and Carino for posting the flyer on the website. Thank you for helping with that portion of the outreach. So on Thursday, July 23rd at noon, the Councilwoman we are hosting the torch run as it does its final leg and runs through Van Nuys. So Thursday, July 23rd, noon at Van Nuys City Hall. These international Olympians will be running through with the Flame of Hope. And that will be the final leg before the games actually begin. So I have the flyer here.
What time?
I can make that available to you guys.
What time is it?
Noon.
Noon.
Yeah, so I'd like to cordially invite all of you to come out and volunteer. we're gonna need some help with, you know, with the event itself. So if you guys would like to volunteer, that would be fantastic.
Okay.
I'll make this flyer available to you guys once I'm done speaking.
I'd like to have one too, yeah.
Sure, I'll give you one. And I think that's my only update. Yeah, I think that's my only update.
Good work. All right, Guillermo.
Yeah.
Easy
Good
peasy.
stuff.
Great, thank you.
All right, Angie with Assemblymember Nazarian's office.
Oh.
Come on down.
Good evening, everyone. So actually, I have a couple of updates. The first one is following the 7-Eleven Saturday event, I want to also invite everyone to a water safety and fun event that we're having over at North Hollywood. It's going to be July 12th from 12 to 2 p.m. And it's going to pretty much talk about demonstrating pool safety as well as swimming, fire, and earthquake safety. So anything regarding safety, you should be there. It's going to tackle everything. And the best part is for the